Yes! Finally, I wrap up all my middle school and my high school years with my senior year video. Here is my 12th grade video. Well, first thing, this was the year where I kind of talked to everybody. I mean, I knew everybody kind of knew me for the most part, besides the younger people. But yeah, it's strange because I felt like I was more accepted because I was able to talk to a lot of the popular people. Although some of them found me funny, they probably still thought I was like a really strange son of a bitch, but they still talked to me, so I felt a little bit special. None of that shit should matter, but back then my mentality was talk to every single person I know as much as you can because your time in school would be a lot more fun. For this year, I did still continue doing weird things that would be weird and funny just to see what people's reactions would be. One of the random things I did was I made missing posters just on regular paper, but I googled some random images and I would put their picture on there and be like, have you seen this person? I would plaster like 20, 30, 50 I think around the whole entire school. One was like a middle-aged black guy in a car just turning around and smiling. And another one was like an old person playing golf and they were like struggling with the golf ball. I don't know where the fuck I found these pictures, but I just thought it was funny. I did this a few times and I don't know exactly how I got away with it. No one caught me, but I had like 50 in a folder and I would go to the bathroom, I would like post them on lockers, post them on the water fountain, I would post them everywhere, on the walls, everywhere. And I think the first time was successful and everybody came out wondering what the fuck was going on. Everyone was looking at these things, laughing like, whoop. You know, it was a prank, but I don't know what kind of prank that was. Eventually they called on. I wasn't really successful every time because I would do it like right before the end of the day and be like, all right, I'm about to see everybody's faces, and I go out and they're all gone before everybody's in the hallway. I'm like, fuck. I don't know what was going through my mind thinking this was going to be an awesome prank. Like back then I'm like, oh god, people are going to see it and they're going to laugh their ass off. Their pants are going to fall off. It's going to be so funny. I mean, people did find it funny because it was just so fucking random. I just wanted masses of people talking about a prank that I did. I think that was the point, making everybody in school talking about this poster that they seen. Even if it's a fucking clown saying, have you seen this clown? Please call blah 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 blah. That was stupid! And another random thing I did was I took this tape recorder. My grandparents gave me this tape recorder when I was like 5 years old and it still worked. I used this thing through elementary school, even probably in like 6th grade and 7th grade. It's an antique, but it still worked. So anyways, that's besides the point. Now what I did was, we had the substitute for this computer class and he looked like he was like 80 years old. I don't know what the school was doing recruiting a fucking war veteran. They teach a damn computer class. So I took this tape recorder before class and I put it in like this shelf in the middle of like the classroom, and I had like 20 minutes of blank space, so I waited for the class to start up and the song would play. And it's that song by Phil Collins that goes, I can feel it calling in the air tonight, oh Lord. Sorry about my singing, but anyways, it was funny because it was 20 minutes in and the classroom was silent and suddenly that song just blared. It blared so loud and everyone was looking at each other wondering what the fuck was going on. I told some of my friends, so they started cracking up and then everybody started to know I did something. And the old man gets up and he's just like, you kids turn that down, who has that? You turn that off right now! And no one said anything, and then he just like walked around the room very fucking slowly like a snail, you know, looking what's going on, and then he looked where the music was coming from. At the shelf, he was looking at the shelf, he was staring at it. I'm like, oh, he found it. He was staring at it for like 20 seconds and walked away from the fucking music and just left it playing. No lie, he just left it. He like didn't even acknowledge the fucking radio in the shelf. Are you fucking blind? I think that's the funniest part. He stared right at it and he heard the direction where it was coming from. It was like 2 feet in front of his fucking face, but he didn't even see it. Like, you know you're old if you can't see a fucking radio and turn it off, but okay, just fucking walk away. That's right, be an old man. So after about 2 minutes, I got out of my chair to get the tape recording because the substitute gave up. He like sat down and the music continued playing and I was like, all right, this is just not funny anymore. It was funny for 2 minutes, but I got the tape recording, I shut it off. I'm like, crap, I want to get in trouble, but I got to turn it off. But he didn't say a word. I like went back to my chair and he didn't say anything. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. But that antic didn't end because I thought it was so funny. I did it in my guitar class and then, you know, I didn't really get in trouble. Then I did it in my English class because she has a sense of humor and then, you know, she yelled a little bit like, what's going on? And then everybody was pointing at me and she like yelled at me to turn it off, but then she laughed, you know? So at least these teachers had a good sense of humor and I could get away with this crap because it was funny. Also, what I did in some of the mornings, I took that song and I took this big stuffed turtle. He was like a pink turtle and a toy action figure of Predator, and I sat him on top of the turtle and he was like riding the turtle, and I had that music blaring, so it was just very strange, and I sat it in the middle of the hallway and just sat there and watched people walk by and give funny reactions to it. I know it's kind of weird, but I was with friends and we watched. It wasn't like I was alone. I was like I'm so funny. that would be a little strange. And if you think about it, doing that, that's kind of how my public trolling kind of started. Just because I love seeing those reactions. It was like, man, doing stuff in public and freaking people out, it's funny. Shut up! Another random thing I did was, during lunch at one time, I got up and I stood on the table and literally just screamed at the entire room. I was like, Tijuana, say what? And then I held like a microphone out for people to say what. I don't know what Tijuana say what means, but I kept on saying that, so I finally got up and just shouted it to everyone just to get their reactions. Everyone was like, yeah! And then the assistant principal told me to get down. I can't remember if I really got in trouble, but I was just like, Damian, get down! I was like, sorry. So let's talk about my girlfriends that year. I didn't have any. So the 3 dances, the first one was a homecoming dance, and I actually went solo on that one because I came home that night from like a long 7-day cruise, and I got up from the long plane ride, and I'm like, alright, let's go, and then I was like all kinds of crazy that night. I don't know what was going through my mind. I was very strange. Strange being like holding the door open for people for 20 minutes just to let them go dance, and I don't know why I did this. There was no reason to do this. I just held it open. I guess I wanted to interact with people, although I wasn't interacting. I was just like, hi. Go and dance. I don't know, I was just extremely loopy that night. I don't even know if I danced. I don't know what the fuck I did actually. How that night ended, I don't exactly know. I kind of remember running to someone's car, someone that was in my grade I didn't really talk to. I was like, hey dude, and then somehow I talked about my hairy penis because we were in this parking lot and there was this hot girl and I was just talking about my hairy fucking dick. I have no idea, but they ended up taking me home afterwards, and I remember just screaming about bears. I was like, there's bears! There's bears everywhere! And I just kept on screaming, and I was frightened about bears, because we were in the woods, and then I just tried to jump out of the car, and the guy was like, stop, Damian! And that's all I kind of remember. I swear I wasn't on drugs. Okay, so going on to the second dance, it was the winter dance, and I took a girl this time, and I was coherent. I had a tiny crush on this one. I wouldn't mind going out with her. I thought she was cute, but we did go to this dance, and it was a formal dance, so dinner was laid out for everybody. I took her name tag, and I took my name tag, and I was on top, and I made it look like we were having sex, doggy style, and I was just like doing this. I was like, look at this, and I was like laughing, and she laughed at it, but I was insinuating, hey, maybe we should have sex afterwards. Yeah, that was my way of insinuating, let's have sex. My way of flirting, taking fucking name tags and fucking each other and just looking at her. Like, what is going through my mind? No wonder I didn't get laid till after high school. So after the dance, I took her home, and all that I was thinking was, alright, maybe I can try to kiss her. I'll attempt to give her a kiss. So I got out of my car, I walked her to her doorstep, and as we went to hug, I was like, alright, this is it, Damian, here we go. And I made a kissing sound by her ear. I was just like, and I backed away. I'm such a fuck up. I don't know what kind of fucking kissing attempt that was, but I just failed miserably. I don't know why I just kissed her by her ear. That's not kissing her on her fucking lips. But obviously she heard me, so now she knows I like her that way. So if she doesn't like me that way, that just made things weird, because after that, I don't think we talked. I mean, we talked a little bit, but not like, it was just weird. The third dance and the final dance of my entire school career, which of course was the prom. I couldn't really find anyone in the school to go with me, so I ended up taking my ex from back in 9th grade who lived about 25 minutes from me, so we went together. And prom was prom. It wasn't like an outrageous time, but it was fun. I hung out with my friends, you know, danced with her. It was a pretty good time. But the funny part about the story was, I ended up taking her home, and I'd never done anything with a girl besides making out, so, you know, I was just trying to get something, and I literally, you know, I was insinuating asking her giving me roadhead, like driving and asking her to doing something down there. So yeah, I was just driving her home, and in my mind I'm like, you know what, Damian, it's prom, you haven't done anything with a girl, just look at her, just straight up and ask her. So I turned my head, and I asked her, would you like to suck my dick? Yeah, asking someone that question when you're not dating them, I don't think anyone would ever do that, unless they're a fucking whore. In my mind, it was like, hey, we dated like 2-3 years ago, it could work. No, she looked at it and was like, are you serious? She thought I was joking. And then she just ended up like laughing to tears. Like, I made her laugh because I proposed to her to suck my dick. Needless to say, I was pretty fucking embarrassed. I was just driving home like, I'm such a fucking idiot. I'm so fucking embarrassed. I'm gonna bury my head when I get home and suffocate myself, because I'm an idiot! And it turns out as I dropped her off, some guy was waiting for her, so I guess she was maybe dating someone. So great, I just asked my ex-girlfriend to suck my dick, so now I'm gonna get my ass beat. I got the fuck out of there. I mean, I wasn't really scared. I was like, okay, she's probably not gonna say anything. Hopefully not, I don't know, but I just drove away and I went to this party. This was like the first big party I was at. I mean, I've been to a few other parties, not many, but this was like like everybody popular was in the school here. This was, you know, the awesome time. I was finally waiting for it. I think I hyped it up so much in my mind, and the time has finally come, but I was not very social. So since I really didn't know how to socialize, since it was like a first big thing I was ever at, I started acting like I was fucked up on some kind of drug. I literally was downstairs where everybody was partying, and I started like petting the walls. Like, I don't know what was going through my mind. I started like sniffing the floor. That's a great mechanism, Damian. Instead of trying to talk to people like a normal person, just go and pet the wall. They will think you're awesome like that, and then more people will come up to you and talk to you. Just pet the fucking wall, Damian! Pet the fucking wall! It didn't do anything. I think I talked to a few people. I actually did talk to like a lot of the people afterwards, and I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I gotta go drive home. And then I was like, blah, blah, blah. And then some hot girl took my keys away. And I was like, hey, I'm interacting with a hot girl, but I'm acting like I'm fucked up. And I was really stupid, but at least I kind of interact with people. Yeah, my senior year party. Acting like I was fucked up when I really wasn't. Way to be remembered, Damian, as a fucking idiot.